Let me see that phone.
You can't
listen, I'm not going to ask you again.
A complaint was filed just yesterday about deputies Jared Williams and Sam Quincy. A passenger in the car was filming the whole traffic stop with her cell phone until her device was confiscated.
Don't worry about it. You'll go to jail too. Get out.
Why would I go to jail?
Get out. Get out.
You can have the phone.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. On September 7th, I posted a video that shows what appears to be two deputies conspiring in a hold my beer moment, which resulted in the seizure of a woman's phone.
So, let me see that phone.
I'm sorry.
Let me see that phone.
You can't have this phone.
Listen.
Her arrest.
Don't worry about it. You'll go to jail too.
Why would I go to jail?
Get out.
You can have the phone. Get your hands off me.
Threats to take her children.
You know who's going to come get your kids? CCS.
And finally, her eventual release. After posting that video, viewers went to the Levy County Sheriff's Office to redress their government. And as a result of over 1,000 comments, the agency posted to their website that a video post leads to internal investigation. It reads, late yesterday afternoon, a professionally edited video of an LCSO traffic stop was posted to the internet. We believe that it was a part of a coordinated attack against our agency and law enforcement in general. Unfortunately, it has caused significant negative reaction consisting of phone calls, emails, and social media postings. Some of these have been threatening towards LCSO personnel and family members. Prior to yesterday, LCSO has not received any complaints regarding this incident. Immediately upon being made aware of the potential misconduct by LCSO deputies, Sheriff McCallum ordered both a criminal and internal review. The two deputies who were involved have been suspended. They will remain suspended until further resolution of the issues involved. We regret the negative attention that this incident has brought on our staff and our county. Any necessary corrective action will be taken once the incident is fully investigated. Thank you for your understanding in this matter. I'm pleased to hear that they think my editing is professional, but calling it a coordinated attack is a bit inflammatory. I don't condone calling or emailing threats towards anyone, but the claim that they had not received any complaints regarding this incident is a head-scratcher. For one, it took months to get this video from the sheriff's office, and their personnel are the ones who pulled the video, compiled it, and released it. And if they think that something was edited out of the video that could have given better context, I'll remind you that they own the video and can release it at any time.
Levy County Sheriff's deputies are suspended with pay for how they handled a traffic stop in February.
A video circulated on social media shows parts of the traffic stop and is resulting in backlash towards the sheriff's office.
Let me say that I, as sheriff, and the men and women of this agency do not condone any violation of policy or standards of this agency. I am very proud of the men and women of this agency and their service to our citizens.
Before we continue, as you may already know, one of the first and by far the longest supporter of my work has been Exter with their trackable, quick card wallets. So when they reached out to me to help with their 3 latest releases, it was a no-brainer. The Grid Backpack is exactly that. Pack it like a suitcase with 180-degree easy access and carry it on your back. The exterior is water resistant and features waterproof zippers. There's a quick access compartment for 16-inch laptops and a small lined pocket to gently handle smaller devices or sunglasses. The Grid Backpack has a water bottle holder, but also features an RFID-proof pocket specifically made for Exter's laptop power bank that allows you to fast charge up to 3 devices simultaneously. Perfect for all-day filming. The dedicated pocket can also secure your wallet, keys, and their tracker card, so you can always see the bag's location. Plus, the Grid Backpack is just the start of Exter's modular ecosystem. The tech case and camera cube fit perfectly inside, allowing you to organize your most important items, making them available without effort at any moment. The tech case is also water resistant and has extra padding to protect your assets. The new camera cube features adjustable internal compartments that allow you to personalize how and what you keep in it. It has a semi-hard shell, rugged padding, and a fully removable lid for easy oversight. And like I mentioned before, all of it can be stored together to make a complete system for any adventure, including tonight's cop watch. which is why the 26,800 milliamp hour laptop power bank is essential. It's protected by a smooth black aluminum casing and fits perfectly in the custom pockets in the grid backpack and in the tech case. Plus, with both USB and USB-C inputs and outputs, it's compatible with every charger you've got. So go check out the new Gear Drop by Exter and enjoy the new backpack with 20% off using my link and code at checkout. Both the link and my code, LACKPACK, will be listed below in the description and pinned comment. A big thanks to Exter for sponsoring this video. And now, back to our story. As I mentioned, it took months to obtain that video, and during that time, John and Michelle had been coordinating their legal attack. And on September 14th of 2023, they filed a lawsuit in the Northern District of Florida against the sheriff, Bobby McCallum, and multiple deputies, including the two that were on scene and featured in that video. The lawsuit references the actions portrayed in the video I published. It claims that Michelle refused to surrender her phone initially because she had no legal obligation to surrender her phone, and that she had a constitutionally protected civil right to record Williams, Quincy, or any other police conduct that occurred in public. That upon refusing to surrender the phone, Williams physically began to arrest her and dragged her violently out of the vehicle while he physically seized the phone. And upon commencement of her arrest, although she had no obligation to, Michelle offered to surrender the phone to Williams out of pure fear, but that at that point, he refused to discontinue the arrest. Williams then seized the phone while Quincy assisted him, and Williams attempted to access its video. They kept Michelle handcuffed on the highway for several minutes while they mocked her, and while her children screamed as they debated with Michelle the justification for her husband's arrest.
You guys wanted to be assholes with me?
No, I wasn't being an asshole with you.
Listen, let's not go back and forth. It's not that time, okay? When I went up there to tell you guys why, I didn't swerve. Listen, do you not know what constitutes a swerve?
I am very proud of the men and women of this agency and their service to our citizens.
Their discourse at all times would be considered to be unprofessional.
You said you can't tell me what to do.
Hop back in the car. Yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
You said you can't tell me what to do.
I'm keeping it on record.
You said you can't tell me what to do. It's under recording. You can't tell me what to do.
And here's one of the reasons I love this lawyer. The lawsuit continues. Why police officers would arrest someone for refusing to hand over their phone, but then spend several minutes debating the merits of the arrest of John is perplexing. However, during this improper banter, Williams tells Michelle that it was her mouth that got her into this trouble.
I'm not saying he's swerving all across the
Yes, he wasn't. That's all I'm saying.
Here you go again.
Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
want an explanation? He's trying to give you an explanation.
I'm saying that
Your mouth is what's got you in those handcuffs
Exactly.
right now. And yeah, you still haven't figured that out. You want to be, what do you want to be? You want to tell me how to do my job?
No, sir.
I am very proud of the men and women of this agency and their service to our citizens.
And then argued that when Michelle refused to hand over her own phone, that her actions constituted resisting arrest.
You need to learn the definition of resisting, because resisting is pulling away from us when he asks you to hand him the phone.
Okay.
That's resisting when you don't do that.
But such is a nonsensical argument legally and factually. Eventually, the officers realized that the video recordings of this incident would not reflect favorably on their conduct if made public.
Now listen, you got to take that in mind, okay? Remember when you want to be a dick to us? It comes back, full swing.
And accordingly, the deputies decided to release Michelle and let her go, but only after making implicit threats that if she posted any of the videos she took to social media, that she would be subject to retribution with bad things happening to her, and her children subject to seizure by the Florida Department of Children and Families.
Just remember before you try to go to social media and talk crap about what happened or what could have happened to you. Because technically, if I'd have hauled you to jail, you know who's going to come get you killed? CCS.
In the end, they had the audacity to suggest that it was her lucky day that she was being released.
Consider it your lucky day. Look, and I'm well aware you guys get on Facebook, you it is what it is.
It continues to account the situation where Williams further told Michelle that he didn't like how she was looking at him after being abused for approximately 10 minutes, and that if she wanted to be a smartass, he could hook her up again. meaning place her back in handcuffs and rearrest her.
But you look at me like that, I mean, like, you want to be a smart ass, I can hook you up and say the hell with
I'm
it.
listening to what you're saying.
Which is when Deputy Quincy reminded her that when an officer tells her to do something, like hand over her phone, she has to do it, or she's guilty of resisting arrest.
Look up the definition of resistance. Anytime that we request something, you must strictly comply.
I am very proud of the men and women of this agency and their service to our citizens.
And as the lawsuit states, this is an incorrect statement of fact or law, which is only one of the reasons why this 1983 suit was filed, alleging the unreasonable seizure and arrest of Michelle, causing her personal injury, mental pain and suffering in violation of 1st, 4th, and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, and similar findings for Deputy Quincy. But you may have noticed I began reading the lawsuit at line 31. That's because this lawsuit is for 2 incidents. There is no footage that I am aware of Incident 1, but the lawsuit claims that on or before July 20th, 2022, Michelle and John had kids together but did not live together, and that each resided in separate homes next to each other. It then alleges that John was generally disliked by LCSO because of various police interactions, including, ironically, a prior interaction between Reeve and the Chiefland Police in Levy County, where John was falsely arrested and prosecuted for drug-related crimes in an incident that itself was a violation of 1983. That case was also dismissed just after I posted this last video, but on that day in July, several deputies went to Michelle's house, claiming that someone called 911 to tell them that Michelle had been kidnapped and was held hostage in her home by John. But when they got there, John and Michelle were nowhere to be found. One of Michelle's neighbors saw the deputies at her home and called John to advise him that LCSO officers were swarming outside Michelle's house. Michelle and John then called LCSO and said, "Hey, what's going on? Get those deputies off my property. They don't have permission to be there and should leave." Instead, and to no one's surprise, the deputies fabricated a false narrative to justify a warrantless entry of the home on the property, claiming that despite the house being completely vacant, the deputies amazingly heard 2 separate distinct sets of human footprints inside the locked, secured home, and that they saw lights being turned on and off. They then forced entry into the home by prying the back door open with a knife, but while other officers stood guard at the front door. An odd choice if the officers cleared the outside and were confident that there was an active crime underway inside. Once they had entry, the officers found no persons whatsoever, and though they found the house vacant, and that their claim was they were there to rescue a kidnapped person, they searched the entirety of the house by opening, destroying, and dismantling numerous aspects and areas of the home, breaking into walls and small spaces where any intelligent person, especially a trained police officer, would know that a person could not be hidden, and the officers did all of this without a search warrant. They never sought one because the evidence of the search after the fact clearly establishes that the purpose of the entry and search was not to rescue or find anyone, but to conduct a comprehensive and destructive illegal search of the entire property for any possible basis to charge John or Michelle with a crime, or just to cause them pain and suffering. And after all of this, Michelle contacted Deputy Narian to make a formal complaint and advise him that she intended to sue him and the other officers and the sheriff's office. The lawsuit alleges that in response, rather than directing her how to file a complaint, Narian told her that if she filed a complaint or lawsuit, that he would get a warrant and come back to her house and search it again, despite there being absolutely no basis for a warrant or subsequent search, and rather that it was a pure intimidation attempt by Narian to protect himself and the other officers who acted improperly. So with all of that in mind, if the facts alleged in this lawsuit are true, who are the ones doing coordinated attacks? I'd love to know your thoughts on this situation and the sheriff's response.
I am very proud of the men and women of this agency and their service to our citizens.
So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below.
It's under recording.
You can't tell me what to do.
It's recorded. It's recorded.
Everything that we're doing is under recording.